Because as you know, the main topic of the day everywhere, you turn it on your TV, you turn on your radio, this is what they're talking about. Even on non-sports stations, Brian Flores, the ex-coach of the Miami Dolphins, who was the first coach, his last 2 seasons they had winning records, first Dolphins coach to do that since 2003. And Chris, yet he was fired.
And at one point, they won 7 in a row.
Yep.
How many coaches win 7 in a row in a season and get fired?
Now, you know what? Great question. Rob G, I don't know if we got the bandwidth, but if you can see if you can find that out. Rob, it may have never happened.
Never, Chris.
I mean, that's
to
not
win
out of
7
line
games
to
in a
think that,
row
right.
is hard to do in the NFL.
Yeah, it may have never happened. He may have been the first to ever be fired.
You remember when Bill Belichick and the Patriots had won 6 in a row? It was like, oh my God,
they're going to the Super Bowl,
right? Oh, Bill Belichick's greatest coaching job ever. That's what they were saying,
right? Well, we will. We're going to give you guys an extra segment to weigh in on this whole situation with Brian Flores. So we will take calls the next 2 segments. And so you'll have your chance to speak your mind. And again, you know, Rob and I welcome disagreement. Yes, we had a caller last hour who disagreed with us. Seth called back. Not today. You get once a week. But call in whenever you want.
Somebody else.
You don't feel like you have to agree with us. We believe in dialogue. We believe in sharing your true feelings. And we may debate. We may come back at you.
Yep.
But it's all love. So, Rob, a couple of things. There were a few things. I read through the entire lawsuit, as I'm sure you did as well.
Yeah, I read as much as I could.
And there were some things in there, Rob, that weren't really racism, at least on the surface. It was just some bad situations that Flores was put in. And I'm going to say this quickly before we get there. He also could have a defamation of character lawsuit if he wanted, I think.
Yeah.
Because he turned down. Now, he was told 2 things that were foul. One, the owner, Stephen Ross, told him that he would pay him $100,000 a loss because he wanted Flores to tank so they could get a better pick in the draft. So he wanted him to lose games.
Right.
And then Ross also tried to set up a meeting with the 3 of them, and I don't know, maybe some more officials from the Dolphins, with Tom Brady before it was allowed. And Flores wouldn't do it. So 2 things he was told to do that were wrong and illegal and against the shield, right? It's all about protecting the shield, supposedly. And that is why he couldn't get along with people. Like he said, in the organization, after those things happened and he didn't go along with it, there was tension.
Well, yeah,
he was a guy who wasn't going to
want.
Right.
You're not doing what we told you to do or whatever. And this is an issue, Chris, especially. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Yeah, no, uppity. You know, he's uppity. He don't do what he's told. Who's he think he is?
And that's where the issue comes in, especially, Chris, when you're talking about ethics. There are a lot of people who don't have ethics. And they'll take them, what? What do you want me to do? I'll do whatever you need me to do. And they'll do that. And there are other people stand on that stuff and say, I'm not going to take a part in this. It's wrong. It's unethical. It's not in my DNA. It's not how I was raised or brought up. It goes against everything that I want. I would love to hear from a football coach, Chris, who says, yeah, I would take the money and have the team lose. That it would cost his assistants jobs. Players who are playing, Chris, could be cut. Yep. Oh, he's a loser. He was on that Dolphins team that lost 9 in a row. We don't want him here.
Right.
They couldn't defend. He couldn't tackle anybody. You get all lumped in, right? Yep. All of a sudden, you're a bad player from that bad Dolphins team.
Absolutely.
Who wants
right
that?
On the money. You are right on the money.
Who wants to be a part of that?
And Rob, remember when he was fired, and we didn't know the story at that. We just knew he was fired. And what was being put out there? Relationships.
Yep.
He didn't get along with people. we may have even said, yeah, he came from the Belichick tree, tried to bring that attitude, you know what I mean? My way or the highway, blah, blah, blah. It was nothing like that. It was because he wouldn't break the rules. It was because he had morals and ethics. It was because he looked out for his assistant coaches and his players, like you just said, Rob. That is why. And Rob, they got the league, as you said, they said they're going to look into, or Chris Mortensen's reported, that the league will look into and investigate the situation where Stephen Ross allegedly, the owner of the Dolphins, allegedly told Brian Flores to lose games and to pay him $100,000 if he tanked.
Chris, that goes
per
against
game,
everything
per game.
In the NFL when we talk about integrity. Can I say this? Tom Brady, when he was suspended those 4 games, Chris, was because of integrity. That's what the rule.
Yep.
That's what they used against Tom Brady.
Yep.
Was the integrity of the game.
Yep.
So you're telling me that Tom Brady got 4 games for deflated footballs, and Stephen Ross is not going to get hit over the head with a roll of nickels in a sock? Seriously. Like, Chris.
Rob.
That's messing with the integrity of the game. And now what do we have, Chris, more than ever? Gambling's in bed with the NFL.
Thank you. Now you got the integrity of game, but now you're messing with money. Now people are betting, their honest, hard-earned money, and there are teams trying to lose on purpose.
And now it's not on the up and
Or
up.
there could be.
Right.
I got to be honest, Rob. I mean, look, I'll do the investigation. But if this is true, if he offered a coach money to lose, he should lose the team. And look,
wow.
What else?
No,
this is a privilege. There are 32 teams in the National Football League. It is a privilege, or it should be, to be an owner.
Chris.
It's not something that's just given to you. Oh, you deserve it. It is a privilege. And you have flouted that privilege if indeed you've done this.
Donald Sterling had this team stripped, taken away, and he got paid handsomely, so we're not crying for Donald Sterling.
Well, that's the thing.
Okay?
I mean, Stephen Ross going to make money.
Right. But I'm saying, Chris, he got his team stripped. He didn't even do anything that was illegal from that standpoint, saying what he said on a tape or
and
private
saying
conversation.
It off the record. It was a private conversation. As much as I like to see it happen, when he lost his team, I mean, it was a private conversation.
Right.
It really,
but I'm saying Stephen Ross to go and do something that could seriously affect the integrity of the league. Once you don't have that, Chris, and people don't know whether people are throwing games, you know what I mean? Like the fix is in. It's like boxing at one point. People got turned off to boxing. It's a fix.
Right.
What was that?
Absolutely.
He didn't even hit the guy. He grazed him, and the guy went down, right?
Rob, I'm sure you were like me and most, or a lot of people, at 7th, 8th grade, 6th, 7th, 8th grade.
When you found out about wrestling?
Yeah, I was into wrestling.
I knew it.
Right? Jimmy Superfly Snuka and Junkyard Dog and Tony Atlas and the Iron Chief or whatever his name. Like all those, I was into it. And then when I found out it was fake, I mean, some people still can stay into. I can't. Once I know it's fake, I'm sorry. As an 8th, 9th grader, I lost interest.
My guy was Special Delivery Jones. He was like one of the few black wrestlers, right?
Right.
Special Delivery Jones. And Chris, you remember, they used to break my heart all the time. SD Jones would fight great the entire match. And then he would pin the guy down, and the ref would come over to count him out. Right. He would go 1, 2, and the guy would flip SD Jones over. I mean, like
and pin him,
and then pin him, Chris. And then the ref would do a quick boom, 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 like 3 little taps on the and it was all over. Wow. I don't even know if he ever won a match that I remember watching. I swear.
Not any of the big ones, right?
No, S.D. Jones.
When you found out it was fake, did you lose interest?
Yes.
Yeah, it was like, I'm done. I'm not getting the magazines anymore. I'm not into it. And that is what we're talking about. And Rob, all you hear is the shield. Protect the shield. Protect the shield. Protect the shield. I'm saying it. Protect the shield, NFL. Again, I don't know. I'm just saying what's alleged. But if that's alleged, come on. It just, what are we talking about?
And then, Chris, we heard from Hugh Jackson, a friend of the show.
Yeah, go ahead.
Said that the same exact thing happened in Cleveland.
Yep.
Because something that their owner as well wanted them to tank and lose games, and he refused to be a part of that as well.
Yep. And here's the thing for coaches, and you said it. One, it's just totally unfair to your players. These guys are out there, they work just as hard as the contenders do. And they bust their butt, they risk injury, all that. And you want them to go out there and lose? And if they look bad on tape, maybe no one else picks them up. Like you said, Rob, what if their defense is the worst in the league? Right. And you might actually be a good defender, but hey, he was part of that 0-16 team that's one of the 5 worst defenses ever.
We don't want him here.
Right.
We don't want him here, right.
And if you're the head coach, what if Hugh Jackson, unfortunately, Rob, I hope I'm wrong, he'll never get another head coaching job in the NFL.
No.
He's coaching at Grambling State, HBCU.
Yep.
And so a lot of it's because if you put that bad record on your resume, then it is going to hurt your future chances of employment.
It's harder for a general manager to introduce a guy, Chris, like that, who's had nothing, who's had the losing record. Like
a 40%.
What case could you make for him? You're better off bringing in a guy who's never been a coach, right? Ever.
Right.
Who's got a clean slate. You don't know. You could sell that. I can't sell Hugh if he has a losing record unless you're Josh McDaniels in 11-17.
Right. Yeah, it is real, Rob. And so we'll see what comes of this. But I think that's a serious allegation, Rob.
We definitely want to hear from people on this.
And especially, as we said, with gambling really being, it's a partnership now with the league. Your thoughts on the alleged bribery allegations for tanking by Stephen Ross, the owner of the Miami Dolphins?
All right, let's kick it off with Gerard in Los Angeles. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What up, G?
Hey, what's happening, fellas? Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it. I listen to you guys every day. Love your show.
Thank you, buddy.
Two things in one. Two things in one. If these allegations are true, yes, this Ross guy should be stripped of his team, number one. Number two, reopen conversation with Robert L. Johnson, co-founder of BET. Yeah, I went there.
Well, he owned the remember the Charlotte team? He called them the Bobcats. Remember that?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
There's other. If you obviously point to, hey, get an African American owner in there. There are a lot of other guys you could go to. I don't know if Johnson wants that smoke again, right? He did it in the NBA.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. But
Didn't
there are other
work
people.
out.
Who could try to put money together, a group.
Right.
A-Rod's in a group, right, with a guy for the Timberwolves. Guys can put their money together. Everybody's not walking around with and here's the other thing, Chris, when we talk about this, as much as we want to give these guys like how rich these owners are, the New York Giants were bought for $50. Okay, so let's just
a long time.
I'm just saying. No, but I'm saying, but that's how they got in on the ground floor.
Right.
People got in.
Oh, yeah,
they weren't always rich.
Some of these families,
right.
That's
what I'm trying to say. They weren't always rich.
Absolutely.
The Giants were bought,
a good number of them go back to the start of the league.
The Giants were bought for $500, Chris, in 1934. 500, not 50.
Yep.
All right, let's go to Tim in Georgia. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What up, Tim? Smooth Tim.
What's up, guys? How you doing this evening?
Chill. What's up?
Tim.
What's up?
Yeah.
I got 2 quick points, brothers. First of all, I haven't worked for the Justice Department for 25 years. I have some expertise in the legal department. And what I haven't heard anybody mention is that by him adding a class action suit, this opens the NFL up to a myriad of things. Because with the class action suit, that means that not only is it him, but you're going back to other coaches from the past. Yep. You're going to open up areas of discovery. It's going to open up books. So that class action
suit. Like the Hugh Jackson allegations could become
or even Chris, even Bieniemy, who hasn't been able to get a head coaching job. Maybe they look through their notes.
All those guys will be included. So whoever is advising him is very smart by bringing the class action suit and him not doing it by himself. So that's very, very important. They're doing it that way. And second of all, I work with the NAACP here in local and the state, and some of the brothers, we were talking about, we try to do what we can with our platform, having been professional guys to use our platform. I just want to say I'm proud of you guys because there's not too many African Americans who have platforms like you do. And I look at these analysts and anchors, talk show hosts, that they don't use it to speak out. And I'm just proud of you gentlemen, man, that you do it. And I think when we look back in posterity in this era of social justice, you guys and our couple, your names will be right there, man. And you should be proud of what you do. I just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you, man. Thank you. That means a lot.
That means a lot. And Chris and I have always.
And he's right, Rob. You know that.
Oh, we already know. But Chris and I, we just not going to do a show like that. It's just It's not going to happen. And you know what? If they don't want us to do it, Chris, we won't do it. I'm talking about do the show, but we're not going to change who we are.
Be able to say what we want to say.
Exactly. And we always have said this. Chris and I are very fortunate because we got great bosses who believe in us, who believe in what we're doing, who let us. Chris, what meeting have we been called into?
They just put us together, Rob.
Yes.
We never thought about doing a show together.
No, not a radio show or anything like that. And it's never been done in sports talk radio. Two black people, black guys doing a show on 400 stations around the country. We're proud of it.
Absolutely. And like you said, we've never been called into the office.
No.
Tone it down.
Tone it down. You guys are too black.
Right.
You're too black. What are you doing?
Never.
All right, Sean in Sacramento, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Yo, my uncle's from another mother, my brother's behind the board. Hey, great job on that Straight Fire podcast, Rob G. I hear you, baby.
I never miss Straight Fire.
That's right. We never listen to it, so we never miss it.
Hey, y'all better quit hating on Rob G and J-Mac, man. They do a hell of a job.
It's going to Rob G's head,
Is he the
man.
co-host
You need
now?
to quit big up in Rob G because his head is getting huge. Am I right,
man?
Rob?
What could I say, man? Hey, look, Fox Sports Radio puts out the best podcast in the game. I can't help but become a fan, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, I saw you retweet us today with the big 63 million podcast, Chris, like Fox Sports has done.
Hey,
Fox
you know
Sports
what, Rob?
Radio.
I'm taking a lot of slings and arrows for you on Twitter, man.
I know,
so just know your boy got your back,
I
baby.
see. I already know. I see. That's all
So
good. Sean, go ahead.
My take real quick, y'all, is I remember previously, I got 2 points. I remember previously y'all had talked about a program that the NFL was going to start giving people draft picks, little token awards for hiring black people on their staff. Whatever happened to that? And then my second question is, why can't the NFL take a page out of 99.9% of all other industries and have an objective scoring metric and rubric for these interviews? There's no reason for them to be able to ask these wild questions to any old interview person, have no overseeing body to make sure these things are fair. And not only that, but the union has no say if anybody says that it was an unfair interview, things went wrong. What evidence can they possibly show with the way the current interview process is set up right now? That's all I got, fellas. Keep doing great work, y'all.
Well, look, obviously people feel like you can hire who you want. It's my company. All right. But I like what they were proposed, Rob, in the lawsuit. Brian Flores, they proposed that you have to put down on paper why you hired somebody. Strengths, weaknesses, qualifications, the whole 9 yards. So when you hire a Josh McCown, like what would you be able to say about Josh McCown?
You would say
who's a high school quarterbacks coach and never coached in college or pro.
Right. You would have to put that down, and then you would say,
I like his personality. He's a leader.
Right.
He played in the league. Like you'd be stretching it, really.
Right. And I think if you do that, then you could see. And if it's Eric Bieniemy and they say not an impressive front man for an organization, is personality doesn't clashes, whatever it is, Chris.
Right.
Because it can't be football related. Like it can't be. So what else could it be when they put the weakness or the negative column? It's got to be personal stuff. What could it be?
Yeah. It's an extra segment for you guys to weigh in on the Brian Flores allegations of racism in the NFL. What are your thoughts?
All right, let's kick it off with Tim in Nebraska. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What up, Tim?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Man,
we're
doing great,
man. We're great. Good to hear from
you. I like your show. I listen to it every chance I get.
Thank you.
I'm about the furthest south of racism as a racist as you can get, but I sense racism from you two.
All right, let's hear it.
If I was to say that when I was younger, my favorite wrestler was Hulk Hogan because he was white, what would I be labeled as?
Well, here's the thing. I wouldn't care if you told me you like. You might Tyson
not care,
Fury.
But it's still,
you like Tyson Fury.
Then
I wouldn't label you one. If you said you like Tyson Fury because he's a white boxing champ, I wouldn't have an issue with that.
But I didn't say that he was the. Yes, go ahead, Chris.
Go ahead, bro.
I was going to say I was just talking about Special Delivery Jones. I said he was the only black wrestler that I used to watch, and I didn't say that I liked him only because he was black, but he was somebody who looked like me, who I could relate to. It wasn't like I had 20 black. It wasn't like I had 20 black wrestlers to pick from.
Here's what I'm gonna say to you, Tim. I did grow up.
Well, I've got another part to this too.
Well, I was just gonna say I did grow up when there's hardly any black quarterbacks in the league, and there was one, I pulled for him. When there was really hardly any black coaches in the league, and there was one, I pulled for him. And most black people did that. And here's why. Because blacks have been denied positions of power for so long that when you see one excelling against all odds, you pulled for him.
Absolutely. I do the same. But do you two actually honestly believe that a owner of an NFL franchise is going to stake the future of that franchise and his billions of investment dollars on a head coach based on if he's black or white?
Yes, I do believe that does take place.
Let me ask you this,
because the numbers
Tim.
don't bear it out.
I can't believe that anyone would believe it.
Why do you think there's only one in a sport that's 70% black that has historically gotten tons of coaches and GMs from the playing field, right?
From
guys
the pool,
that used to play and then they move up and become coaches. Why is only 1 out of 32 black?
Do you want to know what I think?
Yeah, I do.
I think it's because in a country this size with 32 teams, how many people are qualified for that position, regardless of their color?
The Houston Texans are looking at a high school coach. What makes him qualified? Josh McCown.
And we'll wait for you to name. And we'll wait.
What makes him qualified to lead an NFL
the black
team?
guy who was a high school coach who got an NFL job. We'll wait for that guy. Tell me who.
What made Cliff Kingsbury qualified to be the coach of the Arizona Cardinals?
He got run out of Texas Tech.
Yeah, he was losing in the college level. Where does that happen?
That.
How about Josh McDaniels, who was fired from the Denver Broncos for cheating?
Yeah, I can't deny that.
Jim Caldwell got to a Super Bowl, had 3 winning seasons in 4 years in Detroit.
Exactly.
Who does
run
that?
Out.
Made the playoffs 2 of the 4 years and then got fired. Hasn't gotten a job since. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of African Americans that are qualified for these jobs. Off the top of my head, Todd Bowles, Eric Bieniemy, Byron Leftwich. Just off the top of my head.
No doubt. And that's fine. We appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, I appreciate your call and willingness to go back and forth. Real talk.
Really,
call in again.
Tom in Boise, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What up, Tom?
Hey guys, thanks for letting me call in on this subject second day in a row.
Yes.
I want to, Rob. You made a comment earlier that I found. I don't want to say odd, but you had said, this is two black guys, your words, doing a radio show, and the way it sounded to me, man, this ain't 1972. You guys are too sport. They didn't hire you because you were black. They hired you because you were at the top of your profession, qualified as the day is long, decorated as the day is long, accomplished as the day is long.
No. Tom,
I don't think your color.
Let me say this.
I don't think your color is relevant.
I do think it's relevant. You know why, Tom? And you're right. All the buttons you just pushed are all right. Chris and I have long careers. We worked at major news gathering organizations. We worked at major TV networks. All of that is true. But you tell me sports talk radio's been around since the 80s when the Fan first started, and Chris and I are the first two black guys to work together? How is that possible?
A national show.
How is that possible?
You're not
you
wrong.
mean to tell me there are no other black guys? Chris and I, we don't look at ourselves and think of ourselves as the exception.
The first two that were qualified.
Right.
You're not wrong. I'm just saying is that it's like the coaches, Bieniemy, Leftwich, Caldwell, all those guys you just named, eminently qualified. And I just the problem is that on one hand you can't say, you don't want they didn't hire you because you're black, but I don't want them but I don't want them hiring you because you guys are good. You guys
but Tom, let me say this. Here's the difference, and I hear you. They didn't hire us because we were black, okay? But there have been situations previous to us where guys who were black didn't get the job, okay? Because they didn't think that they could sell across Middle America two black guys.
Right.
That's where that came in. To do a national, it's okay if you go ahead, put them on in Detroit or Philadelphia, Chris, right? Or some of these places. You remember the big thing I just had recently in Detroit? They had no black hosts in the city of Detroit, right. 90% black. Remember Detroit. The column I wrote, Chris? Yep. And they hired a black guy, Rico Beard, 2 weeks later.
Yep.
Nobody.
Absolutely. Well, look, great calls, guys. We appreciate you guys, whether you agreed with us or
thanks
not.
Thanks for calling.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
The dialogue is important, especially dialogue. I was just talking to somebody today about how you have to be able to bring people of different opinions together for dialogue and keep it civil. Don't have to go to a bunch of name call-ins and getting all emotional. You keep it civil and you discuss it, and hopefully some answers can come out of that.